What's up, YouTube? Your boy Rob, aka Card Shark. Gonna study a little bit from this book. Before I begin, disclaimer: all forms of gambling involve risk. I don't recommend gambling. Anything you use for my videos, do so at your own risk. You take responsibility. I take none. You got it? Second point. We're just gonna try to turn an average person into a winner in the 1-2 game. Make $10 or $20 side hustling. You have a job. You're going to save up a few bankrolls, you're going to take shots. If you have access to online poker, it's a good way to start there. All you need is like $50. You can go play a $2 no limit game, prove yourself a winner, move up to the next state, so on and so forth. They have hand read players. You can analyze your hands after the fact. The books I'm recommending to do this journey is The Theory of Poker by David Skalansky and The Course by Ed Miller. Get those two books, read them, study them. Read them and study them. Go play. Analyze, read the book, start absorbing. That's what I'm recommending. We're going to go over Caro's book today. Caro's the Mad Genius of Poker. Picture of him. One time, very prolific author in poker. I think he's retired now. He contributed to the Super System, wrote a chapter on draw poker. As I said those words, I just reminded myself of something. I told you I extrapolate. I'm going to show you how I extrapolate. How you might not get the same thing even though we're having the same experience. So let's say you read Super System. Here's something I took out of Super System. Now let me say, Doyle Brunson, of course, is an amazing poker player, better poker player than I'll ever be. He proved it throughout the decades, you know. It's just incredible what he did. Because as you get older, it gets a lot harder. Your mind starts to go. You might not have your mental acumen, your concentration skills, your memory skills. You need the memory because you need to know how these people are playing. We're going to pick them apart, their betting patterns, their tells, etc. So Doyle wrote something in the Super System which I totally don't agree with. And I don't know if he believes this today because he wrote that like 40 years ago. That was written in the 70s. But it's important because people read that book and they going to think along his line. So one of the things he says is he believes in the rush. And the rush in poker is when you win a hand, you try to string together a number of wins. So he said, like, of course I don't believe this. The cards don't have memory. There's no such thing as a rush. The fact that you won the last hand doesn't make it more likely you're going to win this hand. But in Super System, he's saying he believes in the rush. And he would play, basically said play any two cards after winning a pot to string together this rush, which is just, you know, it's an anomaly. It just happens the way 6 reds happen on roulette. But he believes this. I totally don't believe this. And he mentioned most poker players of his day believed in the rush. You know, that it somehow intimidated players. I can tell you from my point of view, I don't care that you won the last pot or the last 2 or 3 pots. If I got the cards, I'm coming in. You know, I'm coming into play. I don't care that you won. I don't think, oh no, I can't play this pot because this guy won 3 in a row. He's going to win the next one. See, it doesn't make sense to me. But it makes sense to Doyle. He wrote it. Go read it. I can't believe it when I read that stuff. So when you read that, you might take away, oh, Doyle says it's okay to play the rush, play any 2 after winning. That's what you might take out of it, right? But that's not what I take out of it. What I take out of it is, hey, some opponents believe in the rush. That means some opponents are more likely to play any 2 after winning. Therefore, I got to widen this player's potential range of cards after he won a pot because he's going to play any 2, so his range is anything. I have to know who believes in the rush. You see, you got to get into your opponent's head all the time. But a superficial reader would have just got out of that, oh, it's okay to play the rush. That's not what I got out of it at all. There's a fucking genius line. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I make so much money off it that I don't want to give it out. I don't want it to become commonplace. But it's in the book, if you can find it, if you want to dig it out. It's in the book by T.J. Cloutier. There is a piece of fucking gold in there. But he told a story, and the way he told the story is not how to use the gold, but I extrapolated, and I used the gold. And I was making money. I think I got that book around 1999 or 2000. I was making money in 2000 with that, and I'm making money in 2021 with that. So anyway, let's start slow. You're a beginner. Here we go. Also, one more disclaimer. When you're a beginner, you got to play smart. Let's say you use money you can afford to lose, right? Just money you would have set aside for whatever. Vacation, dinners out, whatever. But you got to play smart. just because you have the money doesn't mean you can afford to lose it. If you're carrying credit card debt, it would be smarter to pay off the credit card debt and get the juice not running at 20+%. You know, you should have no debts when you're doing what I'm suggesting how to do. Okay, so let's go through Caro's fundamental secrets of poker. Some of it's superficial, but needs to be said, like your decisions must matter, and others deeper. Here's something. Deception. It's often wasted on weak opponents because the most obvious strategy is usually the most profitable. Right. Don't try to outthink them. Don't go too far on the level of thinking because they're not thinking. Don't try to look smart. Just try to get the money. In poker, you're trying to make correct decisions. You're not trying to win the pot. That'll take care of itself when you make the correct decisions. What you're doing away from the table is how to figure out what those correct decisions are. You're going to study. You're going to think about your hands. A poker misconception. Many players make decisions on the basis of how much they've invested in the pot. The truth is, money you've already invested shouldn't influence your decision at all. True. In other words, some people want to protect the money they already put in the pot. It doesn't matter. All you're going to consider is your pot odds. Do you belong in this hand? Should you be in this hand? Can you bluff this guy out? Do you have fold equity? You're not worried about, oh, you know what, I've already put $200 in this, but who cares? What's the bet size to the pot size? The anatomy of a poker hand. Each hand has its own attributes. One is whether it would be more profitable played against many opponents or against few. True. Should also point out this book was written for limit poker. So we got to keep that in mind. But a lot of this is transferable to no limit. And I read this book 26 years ago. I'm just reading about it, rereading it now. But 26 years ago, I definitely used this book. The truth about money. Money flows clockwise around the poker table. True, he's talking about position there. You have position with the guy on your right. The money flows this way. So the guy on your left, he has position on you. You can make friends. Hey bro, you want a beer? See that? That's how you make friends. And probably all, they'll probably reciprocate and give you a beer. But because he's friends, maybe he'll play you a little softer, you know what I mean? Psychology in poker. When you sit down at poker, where does the money come from? Most of the money you will win at poker in your lifetime comes from your right, because you have position on these people. My area, it's all rate games, so I can't even say about the time charge. Save your bankroll. Money you don't lose is exactly the same as money you win. That's sage advice. Listen to it again. Money you don't lose is exactly the same as money you win. Why? Because you're going to have that money at the end of the year. That when I didn't throw away that $500 bet on when I knew I was beat, you know, TJ says trust your first instinct, and I think that's the best way. Your first instinct is almost always right. There's a saying in poker: think long, think wrong. You gain that through experience. I'm not talking about the newbie. You're going to get instincts later on. As you get experience, as you think about this game, you're going to know what to do at the table, what situation you're in. So if I don't throw away that $500 on a bet where I know I'm going to lose, that $500 is there at the end of the year. It's the same thing if I won an extra $500 pie. Clarification. Any $825 you don't lose is just as good as $825 you win. Astonishing mathematical proof. Caro likes to write with a little sarcasm. $2,875 my actual loss. $2,050 worth of bad cards. $825 I could have saved. So in other words, some of it was bad cards, but some of it was bad play. Important survival warning. This is important. Don't spend your bankroll. Not sure if I mentioned this or not. A professional will have like 30 to 50 buy-ins for whatever game he's playing. And he's going to have like a year's living expense. So there's no pressure on him to win this week, this month. That's the smart way to do it. Now, when he's talking about don't spend your bankroll is how you make your living. A carpenter, you can't sell your hammer and your nails. Your saw, what do you got left? Wood? What are you going to do with the wood? Nothing. You need that bankroll to make money. Why am I bringing this up? Because Christopher Mitchell. got some stimulus money. Shows the 4,000. No, it was 3,200 because he lost 800 playing roulette. Shows the 3,200. Takes the 3,200. Puts a down payment on a leased Lexus. He spent his bankroll. Now he's got no money coming in, so he's like, he plays $100 on roulette online, 50-cent bet. It looks ridiculous. A multi-millionaire playing 50-cent roulette. Coach 1AM, shout out. This guy made me laugh. Christopher Mitchell does his little roulette, whatever he's doing, playing online roulette. Makes like $15. $15, it's a disgrace. You're a multi-millionaire. Buddy plays the video clip. I'm talking about Coach 1AM. The guy's funny. Go watch his channel. Plays the video clip, stops it, and says, "Did y'all hear that? The man, the multi-millionaire, won $15. Let's crack open the champagne. Let's tear down the goalposts. Let's throw a parade." The man had me laughing, y'all. Coach, shout out, bro. Important survival warning. Don't spend your bankroll. Okay, quitting time. Stop loss often means stop win. Hello. What does Christopher say? Stop loss? That's games where you don't have the advantage. Why is stop loss stop win? Because stop loss, you have the advantage. You're getting paid an hourly rate. If you think you still have the advantage in that game, you think you're psychologically tough, you know, you can handle the fact that you're stuck and had some bad beats put on you, you stay in that game. You go beat those players, bro. Here's the 9 acceptable reasons when to stop. 1, you can no longer afford the stakes. 2, you are being cheated or suspect that you might be a target of cheating. I'm telling you right now, I'm an expert at cheating. I'm not showing you card tricks on my channel. I'm showing you card mechanics. Now, how did I acquire that knowledge? Dave, bro. Word on the street. Never admit guilt. I don't know how I acquired that knowledge. 3, the game is no longer as good as it originally was. 4, you have reevaluated and now believe the game is worse than you had originally thought. 5, the players are inspired by your losses and are therefore playing better than normal.